Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. My name is Rachel Graham, and I'm a registered nurse, a digital creator, and a mom. And today I'm going to be talking about how sugar impacts your body. And I'm going to be doing something really fun that I've never done before, and that is I'm doing a presentation with Canva. So this is very exciting. Alrighty, let's get right to it. So, how sugar impacts your body. Have you ever felt a rush after a sweet treat and then you crash a little while later? That's because sugar has a real impact on your body, both immediately and as time goes on. So let's break down exactly what happens from the first taste. I like to say the taste of betrayal. So we're going to start with the first taste, and then we're going to move to the long term effects of frequent sugar intake that could be sabotaging your health and well being. All right. So, the immediate effect of sugar intake, your blood sugar spikes. Within minutes, sugar enters your bloodstream and spikes your blood glucose. Your pancreas releases insulin to bring levels back down. This is so fascinating. The pancreas does so much, you guys. It's unbelievable. And this is just, I feel like I want you to think really big picture about sugar because I never used to. I would just think of it as like eating sugar was bad because it was bad for my teeth and it's excess calories that you don't need that lead to weight gain. And I think that everybody, um, can sort of identify with that as being a theme about what you have in your mind about the negative impact of sugar. But it's so much more than that. And as a dialysis registered nurse, I work in the hospital and I take care of patients who have multi-organ failure. Doing dialysis is replaces the kidney's function, but we also end up doing dialysis on people because they've had other organs fail that have led to kidney failure. The pancreas, the liver, these are all really, really important organs, and sugar directly affects that. So keep that in your mind. It isn't just about weight gain, it's about organ function. So then you've got the energy boost, and then you crash after. So sugar gives you a temporary energy boost, but as insulin kicks in, the blood sugar can dip, causing fatigue, irritability, cravings. So I don't know about you, but I definitely have this. I have that strong craving for the sweet. I eat it. It tastes so good. It's like the next step here is dopamine hit. So the addiction factor. The sugar triggers dopamine in your brain, which is the feel good hormone. It's similar to addictive substances, literally like cocaine. So, this is why it feels comforting. Not saying cocaine feels comforting, but this is why we crave more of it. It is literally addictive, just like a addictive narcotic. So, I mean, to me, that is just like insane. But it really explains why it's so hard to quit sugar. You know what I mean? Like, if it was so easy, you would just be able to do it. And it would be like, well, I feel motivated to quit this because it has negative side effects. Well, it's way more than that. It's actually addictive. Inflammation then begins. So even a single high sugar meal can temporarily increase inflammation markers in the body. That is mind blowing, you guys. So, what are the long term effects of sugar intake? Well, you have insulin resistance develop. So, this is where repeated spikes in blood sugar actually cause the cells to be less responsive to insulin, which leads to prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and weight gain. So, this is what I was talking about. You have to think about your body as this ecosystem. Everything is absolutely connected. It isn't just I'm eating sugar and it's affecting my weight and my stomach. No, you have to think about what is exactly happening in your body when you ingest things. So, if you have high levels of sugar in your blood, it causes your blood to actually be more viscous, right? If you have type 2 diabetes and your blood sugars, like when we test blood sugars, make that connection. We're testing your blood sugar, the levels of sugar in your blood. And that can affect your organs because you think about that sticky blood moving through your organs and what that could do to them over time, right? Chronic inflammation. Ongoing high sugar intake increases inflammatory cytokines linked to heart disease, autoimmune disorders, and brain fog. I'm not going to go deep on the science, but you should Google those things if you're interested at all. As I said, it's all connected. We are a interconnected organism. Fatty liver. So excess sugar, especially fructose, gets stored as fat in the liver, which can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So you think about someone that has like liver cirrhosis. Well, that's because of alcohol. Well, there's a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease as well that can affect the liver. And again, in my work as a dialysis nurse, I have been in liver transplant surgeries and have had to run dialysis on people that are having their liver transplanted, or liver and a kidney at the same time. And these are not procedures that you want to have. You do not want an organ transplant, okay? And it seems like, well, that's not going to happen to me. If you do not pay attention to what you're consuming, there is no reason why that may not happen to you, right? There's no reason. Why did it happen to that person? Well, it could have been lifestyle factors. Obviously, that isn't the only case. That isn't the only reason why people end up with organ failure. But your food is medicine. What we put in our bodies, that is what we become, right? All right, getting off track here. Skin aging and acne. So, sugar breaks down collagen in a process called glycation, leading to wrinkles and dull skin. It also triggers hormonal changes that can worsen acne. I don't know about you guys, but if you eat a lot of sugars, at least in my experience, I end up getting some like pimples around here, around the chin area. Nobody wants wrinkles and dull skin, especially like I'm turning 40 this year. I don't want any of that. It's like it's going to happen, but if there's things I can do to reduce it, like increasing my water intake and reducing my sugar intake, I'm going to do that. You think about how much money we're spending on Botox and fillers and even just like hydrofacials and stuff like that. But yet, are you still having like caramel macchiatos with extra whip? Because if you are, you're literally, it makes no sense. You need to get your diet right, and then you can do the Botox and the fillers and all those things. But if your diet isn't right and you're just going and you're getting that temporary fix, that isn't actually doing anything like long term from the inside out, right? All right, next up, gut microbiome disruption. So, sugar feeds bad bacteria and yeast like candida, which leads to bloating, immune dysfunction, and poor digestion. Again, I mean, do you want to feel bloated and gross? No. Do you want poor digestion? Absolutely not. There's nothing worse than having poor digestion, bowel issues. Like, and if you just think about sugar in your body, and there's these little bacterias, and they're just these nasty little buggers, and the bacteria or the sugar is what they need to live. So the more sugar you're eating, those bacteria are proliferating. They're like, woohoo, like it's spring break in Rachel's body. She's feeding us all these sugars. Like, can't wait to start wreaking havoc on her digestive tract. Like, and then let's build up some candida populations and get all yeasty. Like, I mean, it's gross. It's like really gross when you think about it. And this is from like, I am a self proclaimed recovering sugar addict, man. Like, I love my sweets. Okay. So, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying let's tell it like it is. Like, let's talk about this, because I'm sick of, this BS society that we live in, that's every single corner you drive down a road and you've got, big billboards screaming at you to purchase these disgusting processed foods, and you go into a station and it's getting a lot better. I must say it's getting a lot better. I'm in Wisconsin, and Quick Trip, they've got a lot of healthy choices, but it's so hard to avoid the donuts and the cookies and the cakes and the pies. And yes, we all have, choices that we get to make. And we have, what's the word I'm looking for? We have, autonomy. We can make our own decisions. But I think we need to talk more about how problematic these processed foods and sugars are for our health. All right, next up, increased risk of major diseases. So, like I said, of course, we are one interconnected organism. Strong links to heart disease, certain cancers, and Alzheimer's. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Alzheimer's is sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is preventable with avoiding things like sugar. It's preventable. And the amount of people that have type 2 diabetes, especially children that are having type 2 diabetes in 2025, like if you compare it to back in the day, nobody had type 2 diabetes, you guys. So it's like, what's going on? Why, like the humankind, like what has changed? Well, the food industry has changed. That's what's changed. The amount of processed foods that we are consuming has readily increased. So I don't know about you guys, but I do find it very odd that in 2025, there is literally no cure for cancer at this point, and you just wonder, I wonder why that is. But then you read things like this and you see a presentation like this, and it's like, wow, there are strong links to certain cancers if you eat sugar in excess, okay? Let's move on because I could talk for a long time on this subject. Super stoked about it. What can you do about it? All right. So I don't want to come here and scold you for eating sugar because I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still will have sugar. Like I had the other night at work, I had a couple of these really tasty mango candies. Maybe they were papaya, but they were delicious and they were not good for me. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I want to educate people and talk about this more. So what can we do about it? I'm a solutions person. If there's a problem, okay, it exists, but what can we do to change things? So read the labels. That is like the single most important thing you can do, you guys. Like, so even healthy foods, they hide sugars. Look for added sugars, syrups in OS. That's the ending that you want to look for on a label. So maltose, dextrose, sucralose, these are sugars. This is like one of my biggest gripes. Diet soda is not good. It's not a good alternative because it's literally, some may say that sugars like dextrose and maltose and sucralose are actually worse than just cane sugar. Some would say that. You just need to avoid those. If you want to quit soda, don't go to diet. Just quit soda. Like, you know what I mean? That diet soda is literally toxic. You're better off drinking regular Coke, straight up. But don't drink regular Coke. So instead, what are you going to choose? Well, there's some great brands these days, like Zevia. Zevia is a great brand. There's another one. What's the name? It's something Pop. And I tried a root beer one and it's really tasty. Like, and these are using natural sugars or sugars that don't spike your blood glucose, like stevia, monk fruit, allulose, erythritol. And then you can do some honey and maple syrup. Should you be eating these other types of alternative sugars every single day? No, you shouldn't. Everything in moderation, you guys. I'm not saying, quit cane sugar and then replace, like, just one for one, replace it with these sugars. Still treat these, alternative sugars like they're not ideal. Like it's not something you want to be consuming every day of the week. So you want to prioritize whole foods. The less processed, the better. Natural sugars in fruit come with fiber, vitamins, and in turn, slower absorption, which isn't going to spike your glucose. And then you're going to balance things out with protein and fat. So this prevents sugar spikes and keeps you fuller longer. Cut back gradually. So in the little the body copy, it says cold turkey can work for some, but even reducing a little has big benefits. I am a initially cold turkey person. Like I have to go cold turkey in order to get out of the habit of something. So I would honestly recommend that for most people. To get out of a bad habit, just cut it out. Decide today is the day. And even if you just give yourself like a short goal, like let's do 7 days, let's do a challenge, like make it fun. Let's do a 30-day challenge of quitting alcohol or whatever it is you want to quit. Cut it cold turkey because you're going to go through a little bit of a withdrawal and then you're going to start to feel really different. You're going to start to feel really good. And then maybe you can introduce a little bit, but you've maintained that. You've already created this like shift in your behavior. So if you add just a little bit back, you may be able to handle that. Or maybe you're an all or nothing person. You just have to keep it out. Like I'm all or nothing with alcohol. I quit alcohol 5.5 years ago. I'm not having a tiny taste of alcohol in my body. Absolutely not. I actually ate what's it called? Those tiramisu cakes that I got from the hospital. And I was eating it and I was like, this tastes boozy. Like this tastes really boozy. And I know tiramisu has brandy. That's like what the key ingredient is to give it that flavor. But now they have all these artificial, like, it's like an extract. Sure enough, it had booze in it, this tiramisu cake. And obviously it wasn't enough. I had like 3 bites. It wouldn't have been enough to like consider me, breaking my sobriety. But it really scared me. And I was like, ooh, I don't want any of that. So I'm an all or nothing person with that. With sugar, I'm pretty much all or nothing. I try to keep it to very, very little. So that's why I created a gluten-free, refined sugar-free ebook for you guys. It's totally free. It's got 14 recipes, 10 of which are for treats, and 4 are for like a savory snack. I wanted to do half and half, but honestly, I guess I do a lot more sweet treats than I do savory snacks. But download that. The link will be in the description below. I also have another ebook as well for free. Well, yeah, one more. So check that out if you're interested. So, in a nutshell, as they say, how do you achieve a healthier life? Well, get active, do fun stuff, do fun activities that also in turn burn calories. So you want to exercise. It's so important for your mental and physical health. Your brain will produce those feel good chemicals, like the same chemical that sugar produces in your brain will produce after a workout. So if you are a real, sweet tooth, get in the gym, get to a yoga class, get outside, go for a run, play with your kid, run with your dog, like just do something to have fun. I don't know where you are, what time of year you're watching this, but right now, at the time of this recording, it's April of 2025, and I'm getting geared up for summer. I'm getting excited to get outdoors and, get to the pool, get to the beach, get to the park. So reduce stress. This is so key too. Aim for 7 hours of sleep a night. I know it's pretty hard. A lot of nights I get 6, but I try to stop my screens at least 60 minutes before bed. Keep your room dark. Get a blackout curtain. They're really inexpensive from Walmart or Amazon. Um, or use ambient sound. So I use the Rain app on my phone. It's totally free, or you can get like a sound machine. Just do what you got to do, or go on YouTube. There's some awesome, like, fall asleep in 60 minutes or whatever it is. Get some ambient sound. Use aromatherapy. Do a little rollerball, behind the ears, on your wrists. That can help relax you. Lavender is very relaxing. These things will induce a sleep friendly environment. Have fun. I said that already. Get active, do fun activities. Have fun. Find community, you guys. Whether that's at the gym, if that's a place of worship for you, if that's online groups that also meet in real life, like I mentioned, yoga, the dog park. We need community, especially now when everybody's online on social media. We need community to share and to laugh with. So it's really, really important that you find community. Eat well. This presentation is about sugar, but these things all work together, because just like our human body is an ecosystem, our life is an ecosystem. Everything we do affects other people. It affects everything. It's the energy, right? So eat well, eat whole foods, not processed. We already talked about that. But I avoid gluten and refined sugar. I try to increase vegetables, try to increase legumes, grains like quinoa, gluten-free oats, brown rice, sweet potatoes is one of my favorites. One of the best meals that I like to eat is sweet potatoes with ground turkey and sauteed green beans and garlic and butter with salt and pepper. Awesome. Make sure you keep that portion realistic for your goals. But that is such a good meal to have. And then enjoy treats free of refined sugars. Download that ebook, you guys. Drink half your weight in ounces of water daily. This is so key. Super key. Some days, like, oh my gosh, it'd be like this time and I barely drank a bottle, but other days I'm really good. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if you're not perfect at reducing sugar, if you're not perfect at exercise, if you're not perfect at any of this. The goal is just to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. That's it. So let's just recap real quick here. Why quit sugar? It ages you. It's destructive to cells and energy levels. It creates an acidic environment in which your cells cannot thrive. It feeds those little bad bacteria. It throws off your pH balance. It causes you to feel tired. It's addictive like cocaine. It leads to weight gain, and it damages your organs. All right, enough said on that. If you enjoy content like this, please like and subscribe. Again, check out the links below. I've got 2 free ebooks on gluten-free, refined sugar-free treats and snacks, and then I've got one on sobriety. So if you're sober curious, if you're interested about quitting booze for 7 days, 30 days, or maybe you really want to do it for life, like I've chosen to do, tips and tricks for your journey, you can find that for free. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for the next video.